Tonight on Missing Persons Unit,
I know he's around the age of 19.
the trail for 13-year-old Jessica Smith leads here.
Just you two guys here?
And her mum, Caroline, has reached breaking point.
If the laws were that I could have a gun, I'd have a gun.
In Queensland, the desperate search for Englishman Stephen Goldsmith.
Somebody said they saw someone pushing a shopping trolley with something in it off the end of the jetty.
And the disappearance of bushwalker Alan Kennedy.
Mr Kennedy could be 20 yards up there and you could miss him.
Lost in the scrub, or have fires engulfed him.
Still hoping we just had a fall on a track and somebody would find him.
And the emotional search for baby Carla's dad.
Come home or let us know that you're all right.
Good morning, everyone. Great to see the rain, wasn't it? Hope it continues.
The officers in the New South Wales missing persons are today
17 cases. Still
as
outstanding.
busy as ever.
Leah, we've got one for you from Maitland up in the Lower Hunt area. 38-year-old man who has a 3-month-old daughter.
Senior Constable Leah Wilson gets the case of Anthony White. He disappeared 2 weeks ago after having an argument with his de facto.
Wife's a bit concerned because this man has some health concerns.
No worries.
If you can look at that one for us.
Thanks, Sarge.
Doug, we've got a 74-year-old man who's gone missing in the Blue Mountains.
Constable Doug McIntyre is assigned the case of bushwalker Alan Kennedy. Alan's family reported him missing after his car was found abandoned on a cliff in a national park.
He normally tells his family if he's going to be away, but this time he didn't contact them.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Mandy and Gary are out on the road today. They've gone to see Carol, who's Jessica Smith's mum. She's been gone now for 5 days and mum's really, really worried.
Mandy believes her missing 13-year-old schoolgirl is holed up somewhere in the mountains with a group of much older men.
They'll keep us updated throughout the day. OK, that's it from me, guys. Have a great day.
And in Queensland, Sergeant Carmel Harris is investigating the case of missing Englishman Stephen Goldsmith.
He had his good friends, his good mates. He always kept in touch with his family. He was just an all-round nice guy.
The talented landscaper was at work one day, missing the next.
To just disappear off the face of the earth, that is totally out of character for Stephen.
Back at the Sydney Missing Persons Unit, teenagers are still the biggest priority.
Jessica's unfortunately one of 90 young people that will be reported missing to police this coming week. We need to investigate each case thoroughly, and usually the parents are the key to solving the case.
On our last program, Mandy Gale began her search for missing 13-year-old Jessica Smith.
Jessica's mum is extremely worried at this point. You know, we believe she's in the mountains with her boyfriend and his 5 mates.
Jessica's mum, Caroline, raised the alarm after not hearing from her daughter for 4 days.
13 years old up in the mountains with 5 guys, it's not a good thing. So we're out to see mum. She's really distressed.
Caroline believes she knows where Jessica is. But when Mandy arrives at the family home,
Hi, Carolyn. How you going?
How's it going?
Jessica's mum has some bad news. She's talked with Jessica's older sister, Taylor, who says Jessica has now left the mountain hideaway.
And she said the boys that were in Katoomba have actually moved.
Does she have any idea where they may have gone there?
No.
But Caroline thinks Jessica's still in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. That's where she found her the last time she ran away, only a week ago.
We actually went up and tricked her into the car.
Was that in Katoomba?
Yeah.
She was there with the same bloke, was she? Or
Yep.
do you know much of this chap?
I know nothing of him. I know he's a blonde-headed boy and he's around the age of 19.
Back at the Missing Persons Unit, the urgent case of missing dad, Anthony White, is now hotting up.
Missing Persons Unit in Sydney. Can I speak to Nicole,
Leah
please?
is talking to his de facto, Nicole, who reported Anthony missing.
I just want to get a few more bits of information. I've been passed this case on and I'm actually quite concerned about Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, he left not long after the two of you had had an argument, is that right?
Yep.
The report also says that he's been a little bit depressed, is that right?
Oh, he had, yeah, a little bit, yeah, he's been down a bit, yeah.
Because obviously we're very worried and we're going to do all we can to assist you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll be seeing you shortly. Okay then, bye-bye. I've just spoken to Nicole, who's the partner of Anthony. Apparently his attitude's changed over the last couple of weeks. He's been crying and a bit depressed. We have no reason as to why he's done that. But at this stage, no one has heard from Anthony in the last 2.5 weeks, including his employer. So I'm going to head up to Maitland now and work in with local police and see if we can locate Anthony.
Gary and Mandy arrive at St Mary's Police Station, where it's confirmed 13-year-old Jessica and her boyfriend have already fled.
He said that house is actually known for a lot of people frequenting, so he said DJ may not necessarily live there but may frequent there a lot.
It was their only lead. So Mandy asks Kylie to ring police in Katoomba, in the mountains, to find out exactly what went wrong.
Inspector McCallum, good afternoon.
Oh, hi, it's Constable Kylie Cheng from St Mary's.
Hi, how are you going?
Hello, good, thanks, sir. Just ringing in relation to Jessica Smith.
Smith, yeah. Police went around there, I believe, at 4 o'clock this morning. They were told they were denied entry to go and look for the girl, in which case they had no power of entry anyway. The fellows who were there said no, that she's not there. They haven't seen her, but she is, however, known to them.
He says detectives also went to the same house on another matter and got a look inside.
The D's were able to get in, were they?
From the sounds of it, yeah. He just said that they went there for an unrelated matter, and there were like males there again.
And because I'd say the police had been round there once or twice anyway, if she was there, I'd say they said, well, let's get out of here.
Well, apparently when the day shift...
If Gary's right, it's back to square one for police. And for Jessica's mum, it'll be another frightening night.
If anyone has seen this little girl, please contact police and let them know where she is. Give them any information you've got, please. Jess, if you're hearing this, come home.
Leah and Steve have now driven 2 hours north of Sydney to speak with Anthony's de facto, Nicole.
Hello.
How are you going?
G'day.
I'm Leah.
Hi.
How are you? You, Nicole?
Thanks.
This is Steve.
G'day, Nicole. How are you?
Persons unit in Sydney. Hello.
Nicole and baby Carla moved in here with her mum and granddad after Anthony disappeared.
We've done the best to look after her during the time. It's been hard for her.
38-year-old Anthony, seen here on a family holiday, had been arguing with Nicole more and more since their daughter Carla was born.
Police came to your house?
Yeah.
What was that in relation to?
Oh, just an argument that we're having.
Yeah. And he left not long after that?
Yeah, he just got in the truck and drove off.
Is there any reason why you waited a little while to report it?
I thought he'd come back, yeah. At least to get some clothes. Because I've got clothes on the veranda at home, and at least I thought he'd come and get some clothes, but...
Is there anywhere that he might go to have a few drinks with his mates?
No.
No?
What about any hobbies?
No.
Did he have a mobile phone? No. Okay. When at your home, did he ever have any numbers programmed into the phone?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
He's a very secluded type of fellow. He doesn't really have any friends or anything, so...
Okay, he's never mentioned any names of any people that he works with?
No.
Anthony left
What I'd
no
like to
clues
do is to
behind,
have consent.
and the family puts his
What we do
disappearance
is that not only
down
the
to his
police
state of
knows.
mind.
He was a little bit depressed a couple of weeks prior to this happening, but besides that, he just seemed his normal self.
People vanish. But, normally they make some sort of contact with the family or whoever. And that's primarily what I think he should do.
Back at the missing persons unit,
Hey, Tyler, how you going?
Gary's now calling Jessica's sister Taylor, who reckons she knows where her little sister is.
Want to find her?
Yeah, that's right. You're being frank with us because your mother's sort of starting to think, that maybe you're holding something back. That's not the case.
Oh, it's not. My mum's like that all the time.
Taylor gives them an address, a hot new lead.
Well, they're saying Winshead.
But Winshead Street is not listed.
That's the only thing that comes close to it. Winifred Lane.
It's the closest match.
Yeah, just in relation to that, Jessica.
While Gary gets the police in the mountains over there quickly, at home, Caroline's anger is building at the thought of Jessica with a much older bloke.
If the laws were that I could have a gun, I'd have a gun. Because, yeah, she's a baby.
Meanwhile, in Maitland, Leah and Steve hope Anthony's elderly dad might know where he is.
Doesn't look like anyone's home.
This is Anthony's family home, the last place he lived before he moved in with Nicole.
This is Ken. I don't believe he lives with anyone else.
Leah's right. No one is at home. But maybe Anthony's Aunt Daphne across the road has heard something.
Hello, how are you?
We're actually making inquiries in relation to Anthony.
Oh, well, that I don't know where Anthony
You
is.
don't?
You don't know where Anthony is?
No, as far as I know, Ken wouldn't know.
And who is the son that lives with him there?
Glenn.
Glenn.
They're at the bay.
Nelson's Bay.
Is there any possibility that he may have been in contact with Anthony or that Anthony may be there with him?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Have you got a contact where we could contact Ken and just check with him?
I can
a
give
mobile
you a
phone?
check with Ken.
Yeah, thank
That'd
you.
be fantastic.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, hello. I'm after Ken White, please. Yeah, Ken, my name's Steve McAllister from the Police Missing Persons Unit at Parramatta. How are you?
I haven't seen Anthony for nearly 12 months.
For almost 12 months you haven't heard from him?
No. What the problem is that he went on to drugs and he done the dirty on me, you know,
Yep.
funny wise, and that's the reason why I haven't seen him.
OK, then. Mate, if you do happen to hear from him, can you just let him know that we're looking for him, we're concerned about him? And if he can come into a police station for us? He's not in any trouble, mate. We just want to make sure he's OK.
Okay.
OK, then. Thanks very much. See you, Ken. Bye.
Bye.
Hasn't heard from him?
No, hasn't heard from him for over 12 months.
Meanwhile, in the hunt for 13-year-old Jessica Smith and her 19-year-old boyfriend DJ, the search has moved back to the Blue Mountains, where local police are following up the lead from Jessica's sister.
G'day, mate. How you going? Good, mate. Is this unit 2 or 3? Mate, you mind if you come out here?
How many people are there? It's just you two guys here, or?
Mate, making inquiries into a missing persons, a young girl, 13-year-old, Jessica Smith. Information that tells us that she's staying here at the moment. Jessica Smith.
They're denying the 13-year-old is here.
What was your name?
Johnny.
Johnny? What was your name?
DJ.
DJ?
DJ.
Mate, you mind if we come and have a look?
They've found Jessica's boyfriend.
There's definitely no one else in here?
Just you two guys?
Just he's had a girlfriend.
And what's your girlfriend's name, DJ? What's her name?
Jess.
He said Jess.
Yeah?
But just a moment ago, he said he'd never heard of her.
Do you want to just
Is that
grab
who's in
it
the
for
shower?
us?
Yeah. Yep, mate, you just want to grab until I come out of the shower. Just throw some clothes on for us.
There's no dramas, guys.
Well, looks like we found DJ.
And 13-year-old Jessica is hiding in the bathroom.
Oh, there she is.
Mate, you're missing.
I'm not missing.
Well, not now, because we found you. Is either going to come with us now? All right. All right, because you're on 16, you're not supposed to be away from home without people knowing, all right? So if you want to grab a bag full of stuff, clothes if you have to, and you can come with us back to the family.
I was about to go back.
Sorry?
I was about to go back to St Mary's.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, good, we'll give you a lift.
We'll give you a free ride, mate.
Come on.
She's a
Grab some clothes.
13-year-old schoolgirl living with this man.
How long's Jessica been here for?
Not that long, she's got it today.
DJ claims it's only been 1 day. But with her stuff all over the house, it looks like she's been here much longer.
So how long have you been living here? A couple of days.
And now that he's found her, there is no way Adrian's letting Jessica out of his sight.
Is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
All right, well, you wanna grab your stuff?
So just weekends for how long?
Annette and Adrian's next step is to find out why Jessica ran off.
Thanks for your cooperation, guys. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Okay, all the best.
Back in Maitland, north of Sydney, the search for missing dad Anthony White is intensifying.
I'm Constable Wilson from the Missing Persons Unit in Sydney. How are you going?
Sydney, Jason.
Following the tip-off from Anthony's dad about drugs, undercover police are now on the case.
Since last night, police have interviewed a couple of witnesses. We've had 2 confirmed sightings on the bus, getting on at the courthouse at Maitland and High Street, getting off the bus near Maitland Hospital. We don't have any other information apart from that.
And they're from 2 different persons?
That's correct.
Okay, fantastic.
2 confirmed sightings in the same area in 24 hours. So police decide to check his home one more time.
His clothes are still here that Nicole left out for him.
Just 3 weeks.
So he hasn't been back here by looks. This case is getting very frustrating at the moment. Every lead just seems to be getting nowhere. So we're just going to have to try and dig up some more.
We now know he has no finances. He has no identification on him. We're now becoming very concerned about Anthony.
So concerned, they decide to launch a local media campaign. Back in the mountains,
Hi, Jessica.
police are questioning teenage runaway Jessica Smith. But to her, it's all just one big joke.
We're just a little bit concerned about what you've been up to. Don't burn your tongue. Be shocking.
If I get it back, I'll give it to you.
Give it here.
Do I get it back?
All right, you can have it back later. Give it here. Joke.
We've just been a bit concerned about you. We were talking on the way home in the car about how long you've been away from home for. When did you leave? When were you last with Mum?
I know.
Did you get on with Mum okay?
I know.
This is what police deal with every day. Runaways who just don't care.
Well, how come you don't get on?
She's older. She don't understand things.
Yeah. Do you want to speak to your mum?
Why?
We just want to tell her that we've actually found you. And you're safe and well because she's frantic.
I don't care.
Sorry? Yeah?
I don't care.
You don't care? Well, how about I give her a ring? I'll have a chat to her first and then we'll put you on and she might want to say a few things to you.
Whatever.
Well,
Good blower offer.
But Adrian won't leave Jessica on her own while she still has that lighter.
Will I get it back?
I'll give it back.
In the water.
I will give it back to you. I have no reason why I want a lighter. Thank you.
I better get it back.
Oh, I'll give it back.
Back at the Missing Persons Unit,
Hi, Gary.
only hours after Anthony's picture appeared in the papers, the phones are running hot.
I was going home on the Friday at about 5 o'clock, heading back towards...
This was Friday just gone?
Yeah, just last Friday. And I seen a person in the middle of the highway in front of the dam.
This caller says he saw him near a local lake a few days ago.
But he looked a bit sort of homeless, you know.
It's the exact spot where Anthony abandoned his work truck 3 weeks before.
But I wasn't looking for him because I didn't know he was missing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's
But
understandable.
if I would have sort of known, I could have went back.
And that's what Leah's doing, going back to Maitland to search the area around the lake. Back in the mountains at Katoomba Police Station, Constable Adrian Sharp is on the phone to Jessica Smith's mum.
Good. Well, just ringing out to let you know that we have found Jessica.
Great.
And she's here in our police station.
Okay.
She appears fine and well. Did you want to speak to her at all?
Yes, please.
I'll just go and get her for you.
Hello.
Hello. Where have you been?
Katoomba.
Jessica still has no idea just how serious this is.
Because I can.
No, you can't. You've had a lot of people worried.
No shit.
Don't talk to me like that, Jess.
Not to mention police from 3 stations looking for her. She's certainly one ungrateful 13-year-old, oblivious to everyone trying to help.
Suppose I'll see you when you get home.
Back at Missing Persons headquarters, another case is ramping up.
Oh, is it Mr. Alan Kennedy?
Yep.
Mr. Kennedy, it's Constable McIntyre from the Missing Persons Unit in the police headquarters. How are you?
Constable Doug McIntyre is on the phone to Alan, whose 74-year-old dad's gone missing in a national park west of Sydney.
Would he go into the bush normally to go for a walk?
A few years ago he was getting into bushwalking and that.
Right.
And then he stopped. And then he was just sort of getting back into it
Oh, okay.
like in the last couple of months.
Alan Kennedy Sr. lived by himself in a caravan park, and he loved nothing more than to go off into the bush for days at a time.
He walks long distances most days of the week, I believe.
Yep.
What sort of clothing was he wearing?
Probably some sort of long trousers and a short-sleeved shirt.
Any family and friends do you think that we may not know of, or you may not have told police that you might be able to remember as well?
No, not really.
Okay.
They're all his friends and that were in the caravan park.
All right. We're going to go up there and speak to the local police, and we'll arrange a search and further investigation of the matter. We'll see you en route to Katoomba and discuss the matter further with you there. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
All right. It is a concern, a serious concern, because 74, his age may have failed him the last month and a half. He may be overly confident of his ability to go on an extended bushwalk, or he may have come into some misadventure.
Doug and Senior Constable Pat McEwen are on their way to see bushwalker Alan Kennedy's family.
Hello.
Hi.
Madam, my name's Constable McIntyre.
Hi.
Senior Constable McEwen from the
Pat
Missing
McEwen,
Persons.
how are you?
Hey, get me.
Alan says his dad particularly loved exploring isolated canyons.
He'd spent a bit of time down at Wombian Caves, and he liked it down there. He'd been through the caves a few times, and one of the guides said that Dad should take over doing the guides, that he's been down there that often type thing.
He's been down there a few times.
What was his state of mind when the last time you saw him? Good. He had no problems? There's nothing he's worried about?
No.
You mentioned that he may have had some health problems, a heart problem in the past?
Yeah, he had angina and blood pressure.
How would that affect his day-to-day life?
It didn't. It was sort of all controlled by medication.
But if Alan's in the bush without his heart medication, he could be in real trouble.
Maybe had a dizzy spell if it was a warm day and fallen. That's all we can, it's the only thing we can really think of.
That's all we can think of. He's had a fall and that, and he's probably his phone's gone dead, or he hasn't had any reception to call help.
Back in Maitland, the search continues for missing dad Anthony White.
I've just picked up some local police from Maitland. We're going to head down and canvass around the lake and some houses and some shops where Anthony was last seen, and hopefully we can locate him.
Today's search will focus on the local lake where Anthony was last seen just days ago.
He was last sighted on the medium strip, and he's also been sighted on a parallel strip. So just spread out equal distance amongst us and just see if you notice anything, and keep staying formation in the line.
This park and the surrounding tracks are well-known haunts for homeless people and drug addicts.
A brother saw him not far, just a short distance away, standing on the medium strip. He's also been seen possibly by police personnel on a road parallel to that. We know that there's walking tracks that only locals use and frequent, so at this point we're just following beside the lake, endeavouring to make it to the walking track that Anthony's possibly using.
What was that, 170?
Meanwhile, Pat and Doug are at the caravan park where missing bushwalker Alan Kennedy lived.
How long since you've seen him?
I'm not exactly sure. Probably a couple of weeks.
Alan kept to himself and rarely told anyone whenever he went bushwalking.
He hasn't spoken to anybody, in the area at all. So
he used to always go around the caves and the dams and that. He camped for a fortnight at a time. And
he spoke to you fairly often?
Last time I seen him was when he was here. Last time he was away for about 3 weeks, and he come back for about a week and disappeared again. Yeah. Sure, he's somewhere. Gotta be.
In Maitland, police have received more calls from people who've seen missing Dad, Anthony White.
Hi, Krishna. I'm Leah from the Missing Persons Unit in Sydney. Nice to meet you.
Krishna is the latest eyewitness. She spotted Anthony just hours ago.
Well, I was walking through Maitland near the Maitland cinemas, and as I've said to everyone, he's a big boy. You look twice, and that's the reason why I've looked again and I've gone, oh, that's got to be him.
It stood out?
Yeah, to a T.
You'd seen the newspaper article the day before?
Yep.
Okay. Now, I know, I'll just get you to look at this. Obviously, his size stood out to you. Can you recall his facial hair or...?
It looks like a number 1 or a number 2 of the razors.
So it's quite short?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about his beard at the moment?
Same.
Still has the same?
Bushy, yeah.
So, number 1. Now, can you recall what he was wearing at all?
The only thing I could give you a definite positive thing on would be his pants, and they were blue denim jeans.
Was he by himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you that 100%, yeah.
You're adamant that...
It's him.
It's definitely him?
He's still around Maitland. It's
Okay.
him. I give you my word.
Definite sighting. She's insistent that she's seen Anthony. It gives us a place to start. She's located some places and nominated some places that he was last seen, so we're going to go out and have a look.
Back in the national park, the search for 74-year-old bushwalker Alan Kennedy is well underway.
We're heading up to Flat Top Mountain in the Blue Mountains. Also involved in the search today is the Katoomba Rescue Squad, 6 personnel from that, going down into the canyon, which we can't go, that's all got to be abseiling. That's expected to take something up to 10 hours, which will be a really thorough search.
The search will fan out from here, above this massive valley where police found Alan's abandoned car.
Where we're going to be going down today is down through that canyon, and can you see those rock outcrops out there at the moment? That's basically, they're probably the prominent lookouts in this area. There's a couple of other walking tracks here. One of them, this main one heads over to those lookouts, and the other one just heads up to the top of Mount Hay over there. So.
Senior Constable Matt O'Brien leads his team to the bottom of the cliff face. For now, all Alan Jr. can do is sit back and watch as police comb this huge area. And the waiting is always the hardest part.
I was sort of gutted, just not knowing where he's gone and that. Yeah.
But Alan reckons no news is good news.
Still hoping just that he probably just had a fall on a track and somebody would find him, type thing.
Hopefully we'd find him alive, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Meanwhile, in Brisbane, Sergeant Carmel Harris has begun her investigation into the disappearance of Englishman Stephen Goldsmith.
I would love to think that Stephen was alive and just hiding, but we have to look at all the different possibilities here.
Stephen, a tree surgeon and landscaper, disappeared 6 years ago from New Farm. His passport was still in his apartment, his car and tools still in the garage.
It could be foul play, it could be something that Stephen has done to cause his own disappearance. There's a few different scenarios. Well, we're going back and we're talking to all the people who knew Stephen, just in the hope that there may be a little bit more information that they've forgotten to tell us.
Carmel is driving to Toowoomba to interview Stephen's 2 best mates who reported him missing.
We just want to get it all correct so that we haven't left any stone unturned. And that's what's important, not just for us, but it's important for Stephen's family as well.
Carmel Harris has arrived in Toowoomba, where Stephen worked as a tree surgeon.
Carmel Harris from the Missing Persons Unit.
Who's this? Hugh.
Hello, Hugh.
Russell?
She's here to interview Stephen's mates, who were probably the last to see him alive.
I'd like you both to think about back to when you last saw Stephen, the last couple of times you saw him. Did he appear at all unsettled or depressed or unhappy with his life here in Australia?
He's 25, 26 years old and he's earning $300 a day, you know what I mean, and wasn't afraid of spending it. He had a beautiful apartment down in Brisbane, you know, with a swimming pool and a gym and all that.
When Stephen first vanished, Hugh tried his mobile phone, but couldn't get him.
You know, thought first of all we might be late or something like that, and then after an hour or so I rang him and there was no answer on his phone. You know, my first reaction, I was really annoyed, but because we were relying on him for the day's work. But I knew it was very out of character for him not to ring and let me know what was going on.
So, worried about his friend, he drove to Brisbane and slipped a note under the door of his apartment. But there was still no word from Stephen.
So I think I went down a few days later and found the caretaker and knocked in and asked him to let me into Steve's apartment, which he reluctantly agreed to do. And when we went in, there was my note still underneath the door, untouched. There was wet clothes in a tumble dryer, you know, kind of little dribble of red wine left in a glass, you know, his wallet and credit cards all, you know, it's like he just popped down the shop to buy a newspaper or a packet of cigarettes or something, you know.
Meanwhile, in the hunt for missing dad Anthony White, Leah is delivering some hopeful news to his de facto.
Hello. Nice to see you again. Good, thanks.
How have you been feeling, Nicole?
Oh, yes, so.
All right, well, somebody's rang up and believed that they've seen him. All right, does that make you feel a bit better? Okay. So based on that, we need to go to the area where he was last seen, all right, and we're going to use several police officers, show this picture around, and hopefully somebody can point us in the direction, all right? You feeling a bit better?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Yeah? Look, I really understand how hard it is. And I hope that when we locate Anthony, the two of you can sit down and tell him how you're feeling about what he's put you through.
Yep.
All right, because it's a very difficult time for you. I do understand that completely. All right? Look, sweetheart, I understand. And our primary goal at the moment is to find Anthony safe and well. All right? Everything can be fixed. We just have to find him and know that he's okay. All right? Because at this stage, if say by chance, all right, he's seen the picture, he might think that he's in trouble or he might think that he's created all these problems and possibly may not come out of hiding for another couple of days.
Trouble or not,
Is there any
Nicole's mum and granddad want Anthony to realise what he's doing to his family.
You've got a family that needs you, Anthony. Just make a phone call, a door knock, just come home.
Your family are worried about you. Your father has got some heart problems at the moment. You already know that your mother's ill. Contact someone.
In Toowoomba, in the case of Stephen Goldsmith, Carmel's still searching for the smallest clue.
Every possible scenario has crossed my mind, yeah.
Maybe he was drunk with people and he fell or something and, you know, people stressed out and, you know, that's the only things you can think of are those obscure things.
What do you think's happened?
I think it's highly, highly unlikely that he's gone off camping and liked it so much and decided to stay there.
Yeah.
Too much time has passed. I think Stephen was a nice man. I don't think he'd do that to his family, to not keep in touch with them.
And for Stephen's parents, here on holiday in Australia, his disappearance has caused them 7 long years of misery.
It's as much of a mystery to his friends and his mates as it is to us.
He would always keep in touch. Every 3 to 4 weeks, we'd have little notes from him. It's just so strange.
Every little bit of hope they're hanging on to. It's very sad. You know, they hear reports of a wild man who'd been living in the woods for 7 years, just coming into a town, and they ring me up to see if it was him, clutching at desperate straws.
Back in Maitland, Anthony White's been sighted twice since the story appeared in the local paper. Today, police are canvassing shops near where he lived.
No, I couldn't see him. No.
And it's only minutes before they have a new lead.
That's it. Which area in Maitland would you say? CBD?
Yeah.
Dartboard Street?
Just probably around the start of the mall there.
It's another sighting in the same spot where their other eyewitness, Krishna, saw Anthony.
Probably the Commonwealth Bank.
That he just recognises him, recognises the beard, recognises that he was a large build, can't really tell us any details about his clothing.
So within, a week of involving the newspaper and starting doing these type of things, all right, we've got 2 positive sightings. That's great.
Meanwhile, in Queensland, Carmel's moved her investigation to the Brisbane River, just 500 metres from where Stephen lived.
Carmel Harris from Missing Persons.
Donna Netting from Police Diving Squad.
Carmel's following up an anonymous call that Stephen may have met with foul play.
Somebody said they saw someone pushing a shopping trolley with something in it off the end of the jetty.
The Crime Stoppers caller said that the trolley was pushed off the jetty at the time Stephen disappeared.
We dived off a pier and we did a progressive line search underneath the pier on the way out and looking underneath. No visibility at that stage, obviously, so it's a complete hand search, not a sight search. There was nothing under the pier on that time.
So there's not very much more that we can do in regard to searching the river?
Not at this stage, no, not in this location.
Another dead end, which brings even more heartbreak for Stephen's family back in England.
And if Stephen, is watching or he's out there somewhere and he can see or hears, then, please just get in touch with us, because we just like to know that you're safe and well.
Carmel is winding up her report into the disappearance of Englishman Stephen Goldsmith.
I've rechecked everything that I could possibly check, and I think I've got sufficient now to put this matter all together and present it to the coroner.
Stephen's final fate may never be known, but Carmel hopes the coroner's finding will give his suffering family some form of closure.
We can't give Stephen back to them. We'd love to be able to, but we just can't. I think they're very strong people, and I think their family support will get them through it, but their lives will never be the same again. Never.
And for Sergeant Carmel Harris, this case will always stay active.
The file will never be closed unless Stephen or Stephen's remains are found. I realise it's been 6 years since Stephen went missing, but someone out there must know something about what has happened to him. The slightest little bit of information could be invaluable to us and to final closure for Stephen's family and friends.
Meanwhile, it's the end of a long day for the police who found 13-year-old runaway Jessica Smith. But their job isn't over yet.
Even though it's good to find them, they do take up a lot of our time and resources. We're heading down to hopefully take Jessica home and reunite her with her mother. And hopefully she'll stay home. Hey, Jess. Just going to be having a reunion.
After 5 days and the work of a dozen police, they returned Jessica to her mum.
Silly bugger. Your eye either got short or I got taller.
You got taller.
How you going?
Excellent now.
Excellent. Hopefully she learned a lesson and stay home. So there may be other agencies maybe contacting you about her, or for Doc's example, things like that. Make sure she's all right and she's staying here and behaving herself.
Yeah.
All right.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, good luck in the future and hope she stays put.
Yeah.
All right.
Righto, thank you.
See you later.
After all the trouble she's caused, Caroline hopes that one day Jessica will understand.
I don't think any kid ever realises what they put their parents through until they've actually experienced it as a parent.
Back in Maitland, while local police continue their search for missing dad Anthony, Leah heads back to Sydney to start another case.
We'll continue looking for Anthony, and hopefully we'll have more sightings once we've put more pictures around, and maybe Anthony himself will see it and it'll make him want to contact his family or contact police, and hopefully we'll get more sightings, but we don't stop until we locate Anthony.
But it's little comfort for Nicole and her 3-month-old Carla.
Anthony, if you're out there watching or anybody's seen Anthony, please come home or contact. Just let us know that you're all right.
Back in the national park, the search for 74-year-old bushwalker Alan Kennedy gets a lot more dangerous every minute. While search and rescue police descend deeper into the canyons, up above, storm clouds signal a potential disaster. A storm could turn this trickle into a torrent, trapping the rescuers. Police fear that Alan has fallen into one of these streams. And with the weather closing in, it's now a race against the clock.
Looks like there's a bit of a cave over there.
Alan has always been obsessed with caves.
Go and have a look over here.
So they check every one of them. And meanwhile, down in the canyons, police are going even deeper. But after hours of searching, there's still no sign of the 74-year-old. High above, it's no better.
From a distance, it does look like it's a fairly
deep cave.
Deep cave. It quite easily could have come here and sat here.
Yeah, I think we might just continue over towards the gorge and see how we go there.
All right. Yeah, no worries.
So for now, all his son can do is hope.
Yeah, as I say, we've done 3 or 4 hours of searching there. But, it could be 20 yards away, and not see someone, We would love to sort of find your father somewhere, just so we can give you some sort of closure. And I know that's exactly what you want.
Yeah,
it's easier sort of for us here, but it must be a dreadful feeling for yourself, just not knowing, And shocking.
And this search is far from over.
Missing persons 212 to rescue 61 through 64.
Even as the rescue team begins the slow haul back up to the ridge, police are already planning to go back to look again.
It could be anywhere in this area, it's just so massive.
Every year, over 30,000 people go missing. Have you seen 37-year-old Shari Davison, last seen in Footscray, Victoria in 1995? Or 46-year-old Ivica Sinazic, missing from Alice Springs in 1983. And 45-year-old Susan Balkan, who disappeared from Parramatta, New South Wales in 1980. If you have any information, please call 1800 333 000.